and welcome to Behind the Unicorns, where we're getting to know the faces behind the scenes here at PLT. Today, I'm with a girl that needs no introductions. You'll know her from your TV screens. It's Liv Grimshaw! Woo! You may know her from Celebrity Gogglebox. Not even just Gogglebox, Celebrity Gogglebox, might I add.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that is your interesting fact. I don't even need to ask you about an interesting fact.
Yeah.
How are you? Thank you so much for coming on here.
Yeah, no worries. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Tell us a little bit. I think we've got to talk about Gogglebox first of all.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about Gogglebox. How does it work? What's it like? Is it the best fun in the world?
So it is so much fun. Like, it's just, it sounds simple, but watching TV with loads of snacks. And the way it's done, it is, they've just set it up so well because it just allows you to be really natural. You know, you're in your room with your, well, my uncle I'm with, and they have these little tiny cameras, and after the first couple of minutes, you honestly forget they're on. You're watching dead good telly, and like I say, the snacks are incredible, and yeah, it's just like...
Dream job.
Dream job, honestly.
You've literally got two dream jobs. You've
Yeah.
got a job at PLT and you're on Gogglebox.
Yeah.
Before we go on to PLT, do they provide the snacks or do you
Yeah.
bring them?
So they provide the snacks, and like, usually, I know.
Wait, but we've got to talk about it. You know, like the normal Gogglebox. Do you watch normal Gogglebox?
Yeah, I
Obviously,
love
you're on
it.
Celebrity. So what about the family with the big Rottweilers that have always got an array of cupcakes?
Oh yeah, that'll be like their thing now, I think. But like, I always notice their snacks, but yeah.
Oh, I'm always really jealous of their snacks. What's your go-to snack when you're on it?
I really like, and they always get us just like a lightly salted crisp and a really nice hummus. They get the one with the green lid.
I've actually noticed you've had hummus, you know.
Yeah.
So now you're on Celebrity Gogglebox, do you request it like a rider? Like Liv Grimshaw would like hummus and lightly. So don't bring me salted, just lightly.
It's not that demand. I'm like not that much of a diva demanding anything like that. It's just that they just seem to bring the best snacks every week. Like, I don't ask for anything, but yeah,
It
I
keeps
think
you
they
coming
just
back.
get to know what we like.
I love
yeah.
that. Okay, well, on to the serious side. What we're here for today is to talk about your role here at PLT. So for everybody that doesn't know, what is your title here at PLT and what do you do?
So I'm an assistant merchandiser, which is part of the merchandising team, and I'm on petite and tall, so I look after both of those areas, which is ideal because I am 5'2", so
Oh my God,
petite.
you're 5'2", I'm 5'1".
Petite.
New petite friends. I love a bit of petite.
Me
Okay.
too.
And for everybody who doesn't know what kind of like merchandising is, because I know that, especially like when I was younger coming into this business, I had no idea what everyone did. And I still don't really know what merchandisers do. So what do merchandisers do on a day-to-day and what is your job?
So merchandising is, you're responsible for a stock file, and it's sort of how the products are trading. So we work really closely with buying. They are responsible for the newness, which is basically your shirt, say that was, you know, brand new, never been online, that's for buying to get in. Now, when that goes online, I have to sort of look how much that's selling, how quick it's selling, and then I need to think, right, how many units do I need to buy of that to make sure we've got enough stock in the warehouse for like the next 3 or 4 weeks, just depending on what sort of cover we want to be on.
Okay, so does that sounds so interesting. I actually didn't know that. Like, I've just gone like, oh my God, is that really what you do? So when we have like a huge launch, say like Kourtney Kardashian,
Yeah.
do you get to decide how many you're buying? Like, how does that work?
So Kourtney Kardashian, that launched the day of my interview, so I wasn't here for that, but in terms of launches, basically we'll see sort of like the history of other launches and like what they've done, how sort of commercial we think the product is. If it's something quite casual that we think, oh, actually that's going to sell all year round, we might back it a bit more. But say it's something like for festival or for Christmas, we're not going to buy X amount just because we know it's got a sort of an expiry date on when it's going to stop selling.
Okay.
So,
And you mentioned your interview there. So tell me about when you started. I mean, I should know off the top of my head when Kourtney Kardashian launched. When was Kourtney?
Well, it'll be October 3 years ago this year.
3 years ago. Okay, so you've been here 3 years. And tell me like how you got your job, what the application process was like, and the interview.
So I actually didn't go to uni, and I didn't actually have any merchandising experience before I came to PLT. So this is like my first taste of merchandising. Basically, I was on holiday with my ex-boyfriend and his friends and family and one of his friends is in buying at another company, and I just got talking to him, and I just was like, wow, buying, that sounds like something for me. I'm really interested in that. And I said, oh, but I've not got any experience. And he said, well, I wouldn't necessarily hire someone just for experience. You know, you've got, you know, other transferable skills that in my previous job, sorry. So I was like, right, buying, I'm going to look into buying. And then I started looking into it and I started speaking to more people, and someone said to me one day, what about merchandising? And I was a bit like, what is it?
Yeah.
And once I looked into it, it was more for me because it's more numbers. Now, my mum and my stepdad are both accountants, so I've just come from like a very like numbers household, and I think, and what I like about it is, it's like I say, it's numbers, it's Excel, it's a lot of like figures, but it's product focused, which keeps it interesting, because obviously working with fashion still, and obviously I get to work with the buying team so closely. So I think definitely if you are interested in buying, then maybe just if you've got an extra 10-15 minutes, like definitely look into merchandising as well, because I just found it suited me a lot more, and here I am 3 years later still loving it.
I find that so interesting, because like you said, like you even at one stage weren't sure what merchandising was, and I'm sure there's so many people that might be like grads, they might be in college or even school thinking about their maybe fashion careers that they want in the future. And I feel like you don't know about every single role. You hear like your buyers, you hear about marketing and maybe like social media, but then there's so many other roles within the business that we just don't really hear about so much. But it's interesting you said there that you didn't have a specific degree in what you're doing now. So would you say that that's in PLT non-essential? Do you think that people can come into this role like yourself now without a degree?
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously I had to come in at an entry level position, which in merchandising is a merchandising admin assistant. But like I say, I came in at that, and because we're growing so much as a company, because we're just doing amazing, we're able to sort of like grow as quick as the company's growing. So I've just had opportunity after opportunity here, and I think it's definitely like, still today it's like I'm on want the next thing. It's not like, oh well, I've had 2 promotions since I've started, I want the next one. So it is dead good.
That's so exciting to hear. So it's good to hear like the kind of growth within the business as well from your side, you know, how quickly you kind of can grow within the business as well.
Yeah.
And to kind of any girls that want to be a merchandiser, what would you say the best part of your job is? So you said it's all kind of figures, but what is your favourite part of the job? Is it the figures, or is there another side to it? Like, is it just working at PLT? What would you say the best thing is?
I think it is exciting when like you can see a product coming in and you think, oh, like I'm going to keep an eye on that maybe, and then week after week it's doing amazing, and like you're rebuying it every week, and then ultimately it becomes part of like the petite range, and then we have it in all year round. And I sort of now, if I'm rebuying a style that we've had for years, and I think about when I was an admin, and I think, oh my God, like I know that history now. Like you just see a product like sort of develop, and obviously we like can reshoot some things, which is like when we've got a style, but we think, oh, maybe actually that would work really well, but with, you know, just update it a bit, and just seeing how it sort of grows. I think that, and also sort of Black Friday is obviously a huge thing for us, but obviously we stock build quite a way in advance for Black Friday sales. So when you see, this is a bit geeky.
I'm so excited. I literally know nothing about this.
So like our best-selling coat, for example, on Petite, I'll be like backing it, and I'll be like placing and placing and placing, and then it comes in, and then it's Black Friday and it has its sales, and it stays in stock for Black Friday, which you think, yes. And then when, basically after Black Friday, if you're on the right cover, like basically, I say basically a lot, don't I?
No, you're good, you don't.
I'm like, my mum will go mad.
I think you speak really well. I think you've got a lovely accent and voice.
Told him.
Sorry.
Long story short, if you're on the right cover that you should be, after that peak sort of week of trading, and you think, yes.
So would it all be gone? Would all that product like just be gone? Is that good?
Well, you don't really want it to ever completely go, because
you need it still.
What if someone, I don't know, say their birthday is the day after Black Friday, and they get all their money and they think, oh, that coat's gone out of stock now.
So nice. See, they're thinking of the customers as well, guys. They're always thinking of you. I love that.
Our petite girl and our tall girl, yeah.
Well, do you know what? Shout out to the petite and tall girls, because we need them categories. We definitely need them categories. And tell me, I think this is something that every young girl or guy always asks is, do you spend all your wages on PLT?
I spend too much on my wages on PLT. Like, it's, All my
Scary.
clothes are PLT. All my friends are like, oh, I'm going to do an order on PLT. I think, yeah, just go to my wardrobe because it's all there.
Okay, and what has been your fondest memory, apart from like your job, but what's been like your fondest memory since working at PLT, whether it be a party, whether it be a promotion? Like, has there been like maybe a pinnacle moment in your career so far where it's really stood out to you?
I'd definitely say that obviously being promoted is so rewarding because you think, I've put all that work in and like I've got myself there and like I'm being recognised for like what I'm doing, and it's just nice to grow with the team as well. Like when say someone on my team's been promoted and I think like finally like they've really worked for that. I do love, I don't know, I guess one pivotal moment. I don't know, maybe, oh, this is gonna again, it's all coming out.
I'm so excited.
I love H. Like,
I was not expecting that.
I went to Berlin to see him.
Shout out H.
And like, when he was at the Christmas party, like, you hear rumours, but like, we never obviously find out who it is until that day, until they walk on the stage even. And me and my friend, I actually couldn't cope. And then, so that was like December, and then I went to see him in Berlin like 2 months later.
No way.
Just as good, yeah.
Oh my God, the next time H is in the office, we need to bring him over to Liv Grimshaw, please. I did not know you were such a fan. You hid that quite well.
Well, yes, because I don't, is this like being continually rolling? Or like, I'll just tell the story, but.
You tell it,
So
you
my
tell it.
uncle rang me the other week and was like, hey, what you doing? I said, oh, I'm just working. I was working from home. Do you want to come on the radio at half 4? I said, why? And he goes, because H is coming on the show next week, and I thought it'd be good to like tell you as we're announcing it on the phone. And I just was like, I'm 26, I'm 25. I have a very serious job, and I don't want it broadcasting to the nation that I'm obsessed with an 18-year-old. Well, I will be like 20, 21, I think he is. So I was like, no, actually, I think I'll take a pass on that. So I've hidden it quite well, yeah.
I actually can't cope. Like that, I can't believe you passed that down to go on the radio with your uncle.
Well, it's usually to be like pranked
To embarrass
or like,
you.
yeah, I usually think, why? Why do you need me on there?
I
But
mean,
anyway.
what a cool family member you guys, like, honestly. Mate, like, that has just completely blown me away. I was not expecting that story. Would you say, like, what is well with that, what's been your kind of craziest moment? So that must have been amazing seeing H at the Christmas party, but what's been your craziest moment? Like, any pinch me moments? The H at the Christmas party is a pinch me moment.
Yeah, I think well, like in the office where there seems to be like famous people all the time as well, and you just like got your bun on top of your head and your glasses on, and I'm like in a spreadsheet, and I think, and then like Aguero walks past, and you're like, all right,
Normal.
but I think pinch me moment was probably like my first like strategy day. I think that was my first sort of like big thing. I got, had too many drinks. I think, yeah. But
So
it's just the parties, I think, and like the atmosphere. But
definitely. And just to anyone who doesn't know what a strategy day is, because to us, and like, as soon as you say that, I'm like, oh yeah, that is a huge moment for all of us. But explain what a strategy day is to anybody who's interested.
So strategy day is when basically we meet with our Boohoo family. So, we're as a group together, each sort of company sort of talks about what they've done, what they're doing. There was a fashion show, and then basically once like I guess it's a bit like a conference.
A very PLT style conference with lots of alcohol, lots of performances, sometimes performers. I can't actually remember the last one. That's not what it was.
All I remember is I had a flight the next day, which was not enjoyable.
But yeah, so a strategy day is kind of a crazy day.
Yeah, it's a fun day because, like I say, being a bit of a geek, I'm like, ooh, figures, numbers. And then once that's done, you're like, drinks.
Prosecco, let's go.
Yeah.
I think you've really sold the dream of PLT of what it's like. I mean, this has been so much fun, but what advice would you give to anybody who is now listening to your kind of journey and is like, I want a job at PLT, I want to go and apply. What advice would you give to them that maybe you wish you had in the beginning?
I'd say, like the advice I had in the beginning from my friend being, you don't need the experience. Like what you really do need to succeed is the right attitude. And as long as you've got that and you're willing to work hard, like this is the place for you. Like obviously work on your CV, get that together, and then just go onto the website and see what entry level roles we've got. Apply for one, apply for them all, like just see, go to an interview and see, as much as an interview is obviously me being interviewed, it's also an opportunity for me to see, do I like the idea of this company, and ask questions. So I'd just say, just go for it. Like, unless you're going to go for it, it won't be a yeah.
That's it. You don't get it.
Don't ask, don't get.
Don't ask, don't get. Exactly that. Now, to finish the interview, I want to just ask, what has been your favourite collab to date and why?
Oh, I think I've got to say it's Miss Jocelyn for me, because it was the first one that they did petite on, and obviously I work on them areas, so I got to actually like work quite close with, you know, the buying team on it. So I've got to say Miss Jocelyn did really good for me.
I love that answer, and I know that so many people love the Miss Jocelyn range as well. I definitely did, being a petite girl. I bought so much on the day it went live. And the final question, I want to know, who would you like to see next being the face of PLT?
Oh, do you know who I'd love? I think Mabel. I think she's so cute. She's British.
Yeah.
I love all the songs. I think she's really cool.
I am fully with you on that. I feel like we need to take that to Uma Kamani. Uma, if you're listening, Mabel. I love it. Liv, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for joining us on Behind the Unicorns. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Let us know if you'd like to know anything more about Liv. Comment below. If you want to ask her about Gogglebox, she's on Instagram. Go and find her. Thanks so much.